Hello everybody, and welcome to the 2026 Erenshor Summer Development Update video. It's really hard to believe that Erenshor came out on Steam just a little bit over a year ago, and looking at the state of the game on release versus the state of the game today, we have come a long ways. Erenshor has improved immensely over the past year, and all of that is due to your feedback, your kind words, your support. So I want to start this video like I start a lot of other videos and just say thank you. Erenshor is currently sitting at 94% positive on Steam reviews and is closing in on 2,000 total reviews, and that is incredible. And I can promise you I have read every single one of them. All of the feedback you guys have given, all of the bugs you've reported, and all of the things that you've helped me fix are what put Erenshor in the position that it's in today. And today I am excited to talk about what is going to be the biggest update Erenshor has seen so far, and that update is called Erenshor's Planar March. It's the update that brings raids to Erenshor and large format content and a ton of new mechanics. Erenshor's Planar March update has been in testing for about the last month as I finish adding content. There are a few more boss fights I need to make and script, but all in all, things are coming along really well. Content included in this update will be 4 entirely new zones to explore, over 20 boss fights, most of which have some sort of special mechanic or will require you to engage with the game differently than you've been doing so far. There are new UI elements to navigate, there's a ton of new quality of life, there's over 130 new items, and most testers are clocking in between 30 and 60 hours of content to see everything in the game. Now, that's not including people who have min-maxed their characters or really tried to optimize their builds. They're coming in closer to probably an additional 80 to 100 hours. You may have already noticed some changes, such as floating life bars above the enemies and the new raid UI on screen and many of the clips in this video. Additionally, there is also an extended target window now, which became necessary as raid mechanics became more complex than the standard group mechanics that you have all played already. So let's talk about how raiding actually works. Most players in Erenshor will form their own guild or join a guild, and that's going to be necessary for the raid content. From your guild manager screen, you will be able to designate your A-team, so you can pick the players in your guild who you think are the most powerful, the most skilled, and the most able to come on raids with you. When you designate your A-team, those players will automatically join any raid that you begin, so you don't have to go through and hand invite them every time you want to form a raid. However, when you do form a raid, your entire guild will show up to the reliquary where you summon them because everybody wants to go. So you'll have to make choices on who you're going to bring and who you're going to gear up. Once you get your raid formed, you can arrange players into different parties, you can set their roles, you can set the party's tasks on these drop-down windows below the party window. So just like Erenshor, the sim players should be relatively autonomous. You're going to give them direction and tell them what they should be doing, and they should execute it without a ton of micromanagement from you. That's not to say there won't be times where you do need to intervene and change their target or direct them onto something different from what they're currently doing. Once you get your raid situated and formed, you can save the raid setup, and these raid saves and your A-team are unique to each character on your account. So if you're playing a tank or you're playing a healer, you'll need different setups and you'll need different configurations. You can save and quick load those as soon as you form a raid. Once all that's done, you're ready to enter the raid zones. All 4 raid runes are in-game now before this update hits, so if you don't have them, it's time to start hunting for the 4 runes to open up the raid portals for you. Once in, before an encounter, you'll have time to assign groups to targets, to readjust their roles and let them know what they should be doing, and then you can execute your plan and see how it goes. There will be a lot of situations where you come up against an enemy or a boss, and you learn a mechanic along the way, and you have to either retreat or wipe and readjust and come at it a different way. During testing and development, it became very apparent to me that distributing loot to your raiders is painful, so I created a new UI to do that. Once an item drops, you can drop it into the loot distribution window, and any sim player in your raid who can use it will present their items to you, what they're currently using, and you can decide which one to give it to and what to replace. Now, the good news is that since this was already in place for raids, it made sense to also retroactively add it to group content. So now it's a lot easier to trade with your group members and also see who would benefit most from the upgrade. For many players, the progression in raids is going to involve farming the trash mobs throughout all the raid zones before you're engaging the bosses. Every single mob in a zone has incredible drops on its table, whether it's part of a class armor set or new unique spells for characters. Once you've gotten all of your new armor, your new spells, then you're ready to start engaging the bosses. Now, if you're one of the players who has worked really hard pre-raid and you're in all best in slot gear and it's all blessed and ascended, you may find that you're able to engage bosses right away. However, it's still going to be very important to farm that class armor because that is going to be your best in slot for a long time. Thankfully, raids are in the plains and planar stones are much more common. Once you get your full set of planar gear, for one of the first times ever in Erenshor, you will have a whole matching visual set as well, and that can be hard to give up if you get upgrades. So, because of that, cosmetic slots have also been added for all characters, including sim players, so you can adjust the look of your character despite what armor you're choosing to wear for the stats. They're two totally separate inventory windows, so now it is up to you how you look. So definitely be sure to share your screenshots of your characters in your parties. I've also come to realize that a lot of players who aren't max level are saving their planar stones and saving their civicruxes and not really upgrading their gear, which sort of takes some of the fun out of the game. So another thing added in this update is improved gear. All mobs have a chance to drop gear that has a +1, a +2, a +3 status, and so on. Those pieces of gear will be slightly better than base gear, not as good as a blessed item, which would be your blue sparkled item, but it gives players a little bit more to look forward to. And if you get two pieces of the same gear, whether it has no improvement or it's +2 or +3, you can match any two pieces of the same level in a forge and improve it to the next level. You can take gear as high as +5, but you will still need to use a civicrux to bless the gear when it's time to upgrade it. This update is also coming with a lot of full game balance changes. Many of the sim players are becoming more proficient at their roles. You'll see sim player windblades and player windblades doing substantially more DPS across all levels. You'll see paladins being more likely to cast their debuffs, stormcallers are going to be much better at using imbued arrow, and many other changes. One of the major changes is coming to the Reaver class. The Reckless stance is being removed and replaced with a skill called Reckless Strike. It works the same way. It's a huge, high damage hit, and it's going to do some of your life and damage, but it's no longer a stance that you can just put on and leave on. This change was necessary because as Reavers become more powerful and build lifesteal, they were able to sustain Reckless stance indefinitely, which was not the vision for that skill. There has also been a ton of changes around healing and how healing spells scale. Previously, you could be using a level 1 healing spell at level 35 with great effectiveness. This took away all of the impact of getting new heal spells. So for druids, wisdom is now much more important for your heal stat. And healing spells don't scale as far as they used to. You'll find that you will be needing to use your newer, higher level heal spells in order to keep up with content. Because of this, a few more heal spells have been added in the pre-35 range, and there are a couple to find within the plains as well. Some other changes include that sim players will now use food and water appropriately. You no longer need to farm the food and water bracelets for everybody in your squad. And when you enter Port Azure with a party, they will disperse and do their own shopping. They'll leave you to do your thing, and when you're ready, you can either summon them to follow you or just zone out and they will be back at your side. As development continues, I'll look to continue adding more quality of life features as long as they fit within the original vision of Erenshor, and as soon as a few more things come together with raid development, I'll be looking at a release date announcement for this patch. If you are still watching this video here at like 9 minutes in, I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of the support you've given to Erenshor. If you're not a member of the Erenshor Discord, you should join. We have a fantastic community, and they will be talking about raid strategies, raid loot, raid builds, and all of those other things. Even though Erenshor is not a true online MMORPG, I feel like we have one of the best communities I've ever seen in gaming. We have an incredible crowd, and I am really happy to be part of it with all of you. Until next time, happy adventuring, everybody. Thanks again.